I'm Shanna Martin, host of the Tech Tools for Teachers podcast, a part of the Education Podcast Network, just like the show you're listening to now. Shows on the network are individually owned, and opinions expressed may not reflect others. Find other interesting education podcasts at edupodcastnetwork.com.
Support for today's episode comes from Whitebook, the perfect tool to engage students who need to work things out. In this episode, I'll explore the numerous benefits and drawbacks of mobile devices in education. I'll also discuss the importance of establishing clear guidelines and expectations for cell phone use, selecting appropriate apps and tools, and promoting responsible digital citizenship. In my EdTech Thought, I got a little bit more to say about ChatGPT, and for the EdTech recommendation, it's an app stravaganza. Strike up the band. Welcome to the House of EdTech. My name is Chris Nesi. The House of EdTech launched in 2014, giving me the opportunity to speak with teachers, leaders, and creators so you can more effectively integrate technology, strengthen your pedagogy, and have more confidence in your classroom and school so you can make an impact. Get involved with the podcast by visiting my website, chrisnesi.com. Using technology isn't difficult, and this is where it begins. This is the House of EdTech. Where is 2023 going? My goodness, we're at the end of the month here. 2 months down, 10 months to go. Who's ready for 2024? Welcome back. If you're brand new to the podcast, welcome. If you are a returning listener, welcome back. This is going to be a fun one because this is a topic that actually kind of goes back to my roots and why I started the show in the first place. I began my teaching career at a time where cell phones were the devil, and you would not want to be having a cell phone in your classroom. Students using cell phones was practically unheard of when I started the podcast and started my career in 2007, 2008, and here we are almost 20 years later, and in some places, in the perspectives of some people, mobile devices are evil. But I'm here to, I guess, present both sides, and you can come to your own conclusions after I share what I'm going to share in this episode. Before we get into that, though, want to do a couple of housekeeping items. Want to promote and shout out 2 brand new podcasts on the Education Podcast Network that I started in 2015, and I'm happy that it's still rolling along here in 2023. And the 2 new podcasts that have joined the network are, number 1, Tech Tools for Teachers with Shanna Martin. You heard her EPN bumper at the top of this episode. Great education technology podcast. And yes, even though this is an EdTech podcast, there are lots of really good EdTech podcasts out there, and Shanna makes a good one. So I had to connect with her and invite her to be a part of the Education Podcast Network. So make sure you go and check out her podcast. There will be a link in the show notes, which are a tap or a swipe away. And the show notes will be at chrisnesi.com/219. The other podcast is called Speaking with Students, and that's from a fellow New Jersey educator, Will Andresen. And in Will's podcast, what he does is he talks to students that he used to teach. So the description is he teaches social studies and film. He's a club advisor, and he loves to be creative. And he wants to do his podcast a little differently. So he has conversations with students that can lead to greater insights for educators and also himself. So there will be a link to both of those in the show notes. And welcome once again, Will and Shanna, to the Education Podcast Network. Housekeeping item number 2. At the end of episode 218, if you stuck around to the very end, I invited you to DM me and win a t-shirt. And I put that offer out there to the first 5 people to send me a DM on Twitter. And I want to congratulate the 5 people who did that, who should be receiving their House of EdTech t-shirt any moment, right? Because that's the way shipping works, I guess. So congratulations to Mike Dodge, Sam Fecich, Chris Stuchko, Dan Gallagher, and Steve Chisnell. They were the 5 people, and if you don't always listen through to the end of the episode, I hope you do, because you never know when I'm going to give stuff away. So congratulations to those folks. And for the people who were not within the first 5 people, I did offer to send them stickers, so there are also some stickers going out. If you'd ever like stickers from me, feel free to send me a message. I am happy to send you a sticker at any time, because my stickers look good on the backs of laptops and probably inside of faculty bathroom stalls. So yeah, if you want a sticker, reach out at any time, and I'll be happy to send 1 or 2 or 3 your way. Now, let's get into this episode's EdTech Thought. As a follow-up to episode 218, allow me a few more minutes to talk about the latest craze in education, ChatGPT. Apparently, some educators out there think replacing human teachers with a computer program is a good idea. Now, I know what you're thinking, but wait, isn't education all about human interaction and connection? Silly you, that's so last century. Who needs real-life teachers when you can have a cold, impersonal algorithm spitting out answers like a vending machine? And don't worry about socialization, because apparently ChatGPT is programmed to make witty jokes and puns. Yes, that's what children need to learn. More dad jokes. But don't take my word for it. Let's hear from some satisfied ChatGPT users. Quote, "I love using ChatGPT for math homework," says little Timmy. "It's so much easier than asking my teacher for help. Plus, I can do it in my pajamas." End quote. And Sarah, a high school student, says, quote, "ChatGPT is great for writing essays. It gives me all the answers I need, and I don't have to worry about pesky things like original thought or critical thinking." End quote. Wow. ChatGPT sounds amazing, doesn't it? I mean, why bother with actual education when you can just plug in your brain to ChatGPT and become a human calculator? But wait, there's more. In fact, if you act now, you can get the premium version of ChatGPT, which comes with an optional personality upgrade. That's right, your child can learn from a computer program that's not only sassy, but it's also snarky, and it can even be downright rude. So, there you have it, folks. Say goodbye to human teachers and say hello to ChatGPT, because who needs a personal connection with an expert in their field when you can have a soulless machine spitting out information? I hope you enjoyed that bit of satire. But think about it. And that's my EdTech Thought. So as the title of this episode says, and I led with at the top, I want to talk today about the pros and cons of mobile devices in the classroom and in education. Mobile devices in education have become prevalent in recent years, to say the least. As technology has continued to evolve and shape our lives, apps, communication tools, and mobile devices have offered a variety of possibilities for enhancing education and how we engage our students. The benefits of mobile devices, cell phones, and tablets in the classroom are almost too many to count, including increased access to resources and information, enhanced flexibility and convenience, as well as the personalized learning experience. However, there are challenges. I'm a high school teacher. I encounter these challenges every day. There are limitations to consider. Are cell phones distractions? Are there real concerns about equity? To make the most of mobile devices in our classrooms, it's important to establish clear guidelines and expectations for how students use them. It's important for us to consider how we select and what we consider to be, and air quotes are up, appropriate apps and tools, as well as our responsibility to promote digital citizenship. With careful planning and considerate implementation, mobile devices, cell phones, tablets, laptops, I would even consider to be mobile, they can be a powerful tool for education, learning, and growth. What are some examples of how we can use them in education? There's a variety of ways that mobile devices can be used in education to enhance our learning and the engagement that our students experience. One of the most popular ways is through the use of apps, right? That's really what makes our devices go. When we're selecting apps for learning, it's important to consider their educational value, their ease of use, the relevance to their curriculum, or your curriculum, right? What the students are experiencing. Some great examples include things like Duolingo for language learning, Quizlet for flashcards and quizzes, and even something like Khan Academy, which has an app that can be available for a wide range of academic subjects. Another way to use devices in education is through communication tools. These tools can allow for collaboration, discussion, and both within the classroom and beyond the classroom. Some popular communication tools include Google Classroom and Remind. These platforms allow for messaging, file sharing, assignment distribution, making it easier for me to teach and for students to stay organized and connected to class. We also live in a time where there are mobile-friendly textbooks and ebooks, which are another great resource to consider. Not only are they environmentally friendly when compared to the traditional textbook, and I'll be honest, in my classroom, I don't give out a textbook. I don't even know where the textbooks are for my class in my school. Mobile textbooks include interactive features. You have study quizzes, videos, animations, and this is all at their fingertips to help our students engage with the material more deeply. Some popular options for digital textbooks and ebooks include Pearson eText, VitalSource, and OpenStax. Finally, collaborative projects and activities can be more easily facilitated through mobile devices. Consider tools like Google Docs, Padlet, and Flip, which allow for real-time collaboration and feedback, making it easy for students to work together on projects and presentations, even when they can't physically be together. And we just came out of a period in history where that was very much the case. Overall, there are many great options for using mobile devices in education, and selecting the right tools can greatly enhance your students' learning and their engagement. By choosing high-quality apps, communication tools, textbooks, and other resources, you as the teacher can create dynamic and engaging learning experiences that will last a lifetime and prepare your students for success. What are some of the benefits to using mobile devices in education? Well, it offers a number of potential benefits for both the students and us as teachers. First and foremost, mobile devices offer increased access to resources and information. With a device in hand, your students can access educational materials from anywhere at any time. This can be especially helpful for students who may not have access to traditional resources, such as a school library or a reliable internet connection at home. Another benefit of the mobile device is enhanced flexibility and, let's be honest, the convenience. Students can complete assignments and access materials on their own time and at their own pace. This can help to personalize the learning experience and ensure that your students are able to engage with materials in a way that works best for them. Their mobile devices also have the potential to create personalized learning experiences for each and every one of them. With the use of adaptive learning technology, a mobile device can help to identify areas where a student is struggling. It can help to provide targeted feedback and can get the resources to them to help them improve. This can help to ensure that students are getting the support they need to succeed. Finally, the mobile device can help improve student engagement and motivation. By using interactive apps, games, and other tools, you can create a dynamic and engaging learning environment that captures students' attention. And get ready for this, it can make learning fun. Fun is like my second 4-letter F word that's my favorite. The other one is free. The potential benefits of using mobile devices in education are again too many to count, but it includes increased access to resources and information, allows us to be flexible and provide a convenience for our students. It allows us to more personalize the learning experience, and it can improve engagement. By harnessing the power of the cell phone, you can create a more effective and engaging learning experience for all your students. But there's another side to this. And before I talk about the challenges and the limitations of mobile devices in the classroom, let me share more about this episode's sponsor. Are you tired of constantly buying disposable flip charts and whiteboards for your presentations, brainstorming sessions, and lessons? Well, the solution to your problem has arrived. Whitebook makes reusable notebooks and flip charts. Their top product, the Whitebook Flip Chart, is here to revolutionize how you work, teach, and create. Say goodbye to traditional and disposable flip charts and anchor charts, and say hello to more affordable and eco-friendly solutions. With the Whitebook Flip Chart, you can reuse it over and over again and again. Flip Chart is perfect for classrooms and can be an extension of your whiteboards for groups of students to work on. It's 2 feet by 3 feet with 10 double-sided sheets. One side is blank, the other is gridded, making it perfect for math classes. The best part? You can write, scan, wipe, and redo, making it an endlessly reusable tool. And with the Whitebook Scan app, you can easily scan and save your work to the cloud, giving you access to it whenever and wherever you need it. Head over to whitebook.com/houseofedtech and enter a weekly raffle to win free flip charts or get a discount code for 20% off your purchase. Make the switch to Whitebook. Flip charts are awesome, and if you do it today, you can join the movement toward a more sustainable and efficient way of working. And visit whitebook.com for more information. That's WIPEBOOK.com. And now, back to the show. While there are many potential benefits to using cell phones in the classroom, there are also several challenges and limitations to consider. One of the biggest challenges is the potential for distractions and the negative effects on student learning. Mobile devices can be a source of temptation for students, and it can be difficult to ensure that they are using their devices for educational purposes only. We've all heard that before, right? Additionally, research has shown that excessive screen time can have a negative effect on the attention span and cognitive development of children. Another challenge is the concern over equity and the digital divide. Not all students have access to a mobile device or a reliable internet connection. This can put them at a disadvantage in a mobile device-centric classroom. This can exacerbate existing achievement gaps and create a sense of inequity among the students. Technical issues and limitations of mobile devices can also pose a challenge in the classroom. Some apps or software may not work on all devices. You can't be looking for an app and ensure that everybody has the latest operating system or the right device to work the app. We've all encountered apps that are only available on an Apple device, or they are only available on Android. And who's to say that a student has the most updated model to access all the features that you might want to use or take advantage of with an app? Also, battery life and connectivity issues can create disruptions in the learning process. You ever have students that ask you if you have a charger, or they're looking for a plug because they showed up to school with 1% battery? It's a nightmare. And obviously, privacy and security concerns can also be a limitation of using mobile devices in your classroom. Teachers, you have to ensure that students' personal information is protected and that their devices are secure from malware and other threats. And I don't know about you, it's kind of tough to take on that responsibility. To address these challenges and limitations, it's important for you to establish clear guidelines and expectations for cell phone use in the classroom. Efforts should be made to ensure that all students have access to the necessary devices and resources, regardless of their socioeconomic background. You also have to work to mitigate distractions. You have to incorporate engaging and interactive activities into your lessons and promote responsible digital citizenship among your students. By addressing these challenges head-on, you can make the most of cell phones in the classroom while also ensuring that all your students have the opportunity to truly succeed. So what do best practices look like? When it comes to cell phones in the classroom, there are a number of best practices that can help ensure a successful and effective learning experience. First and foremost, you've got to establish clear guidelines and expectations for their use. This may include rules around when and how devices can be used, as well as consequences for violating these rules. Now, I've put together a little guide that, well, not a guide, a poster that I have designed in Canva, and there's a link to it in the show notes, which are a tap or a swipe away in the app you're listening to, or if you go out to chrisnessy.com/219, you can get a link to this Canva template, which you can edit or you can just print out, and it's got some great reminders, and it's in the style of a cell phone, and I think you might find it pretty valuable. Another best practice is to incorporate a variety of learning activities and resources to keep your students engaged and motivated. This could include mixing of your apps so you can smash some things together. You can also use them in conjunction with textbooks, collaborative projects, and interactive activities to ensure that your students are getting a well-rounded learning experience. You should also be mindful of those equity concerns and work to ensure that all of your students have access to the necessary devices and access to the resources. This might involve providing devices for students who don't have their own, or working with your school administrator to ensure that technology resources are distributed fairly. To minimize the cell phone as a distraction and keep your students focused, you can use classroom management tools like some type of classroom response system, which would allow students to answer questions and participate in class discussions using their devices. Additionally, you can also use apps that promote productivity and time management, such as Focus at Will, and this can help to keep your students on task. Finally, it's important for you to stay up to date on a lot of the apps that are out there. You need to listen to shows like this and like so many others that are out there and read the blogs and do your homework. And you have to be willing to adapt and adjust your approach as needed. By staying flexible and open to new ideas, you can ensure that you are making the most of cell phones and other mobile devices in your classroom, and you'll be providing the best possible experience for your kids. Overall, again, cell phones in the classroom can be powerful. Can they also be a distraction? Absolutely. You know your students. You know your community. You have to find the balance. And that's on your shoulders. Talk to other teachers in your school. Talk to other teachers that you feel confident and comfortable talking with. I've talked recently about asking for help, and this might be something that's bigger than you. And that depends on you who's listening. You have to kind of take it day by day, class by class. You never know what factors are coming in. Is a cell phone ban the answer? I don't think so. I think it's important to really make your classroom kind of like the real world. And again, should there be consequences if they're used inappropriately or at the wrong time? Absolutely. We've all been out shopping or in restaurants where you can see what's posted for employees about AirPods and using their cell phones while they're working. And you can provide similar guidelines and make your classroom real world like. But do you need to be fighting with your students over their cell phones? No. Do you need to be snatching them out of their hands? I don't think so. Call it like it is. Talk about them being a distraction. It's our responsibility to kind of model it. So we can't be on our cell phones in our classrooms while students shouldn't be on theirs. But again, sometimes we as teachers make the worst example of students. And just, proceed with caution. Are they to be demonized? Again, I don't think so. But it depends on you, your classroom, and your school. And I hope that mobile devices can and maybe continue to be a positive part of your instructional practice. I want to hear your thoughts on devices in the classroom. And again, we're not talking about the devices that are necessarily provided by your school or your district, so we're not talking about Chromebooks. We're really talking about cell phones and maybe tablets. Some kids bring in their own tablets to school. But I want to know what you think. Send me an email, send me a voicemail. If you want to come over to the House of EdTech Discord community, we talked about it a little bit over there leading up to this episode. So you can do that. Go to chrisnessy.com/Discord and join the conversation there. Or again, head over to chrisnessy.com/219 and let me know your thoughts on mobile devices in education. And now, the EdTech recommendations. All right, to continue with the theme of this episode being mobile devices in the classroom, let's talk about some apps that you might find valuable. And I've broken this down into elementary school, middle school, and high school. And you can cross over where necessary. So, some great apps for elementary school use. Duolingo. It's a language learning app. Epic. Epic is an ebook library with over 40,000 books that can help elementary school students develop their reading skills and foster a love of reading. There is Prodigy Math Game. Prodigy is a math game that makes learning math fun for elementary school kids. There's Scratch Junior. Scratch Junior is a programming app that introduces elementary school students to the basics of coding. And there is also Khan Academy Kids, which is a more younger student version of Khan Academy, and it's perfect for elementary school students who want to learn while also having fun. Shifting gears to middle school. Here are 5 great apps for middle school students. Quizlet, Google Classroom, Photo Math. And Photo Math is a fun one because that can help middle school students solve math problems by using their smartphone camera. It's perfect for students who need a little extra help with math. Close to my heart, iCivics. It's an educational app that teaches middle school students about government and civic responsibility. I could think of some adults who could use that app as well. Grammarly Keyboard. It's the keyboard powered by Grammarly, and it's a writing app that can help middle school students, and really students of any age, improve their grammar and spelling. Now some apps for the high school students. full-blown Khan Academy. We're all familiar with Khan Academy. Wolfram Alpha is a computational knowledge engine that can help the high school student with math and science homework. Evernote or Google Keep are organization apps that can help high school students keep track of their notes and their assignments. Study Blue is a flashcard app that can help high school students study for tests and quizzes. And Forest, which is a productivity app that helps high school students stay focused and avoid distractions. If you have favorite apps as a elementary, middle, or high school educator, let me know what they are. Tweet at me or go to chrisnessy.com/feedback or /voicemail. And you know what? You might even want to consider something you really love that's an app and save that for the end of the year for the 2023 House of EdTech Smackdown. Remember, it's never too early to send me audio for the Smackdown. But what mobile apps are you loving, and what are your students using for learning and growing in your classroom? Let me know. And that's my EdTech recommendation. Thank you for listening to this episode of the House of EdTech podcast. If you're not subscribed or following, I hope you'll continue to make the podcast a part of your anytime, anywhere professional development. If you want to get the most value out of the House of EdTech, check out the show notes for this episode. You'll find all the resources mentioned in this episode. It's a great way to deepen your understanding of the topics and take your learning to the next level. So be sure to visit chrisnessy.com/219. Or again, they're a swipe or a tap away in the app you're using right now. I also love hearing from you, the listener, and I value your feedback and perspective. If you have thoughts or questions about this episode or a recent episode, don't be shy. Email me, feedback@chrisnessy.com. Or you can leave a voicemail at chrisnessy.com/voicemail. Your input can help me better create the content and improve the show so it's valuable. And I encourage you to reach out and share your thoughts with me. Not every EdTech podcaster wants to hear from you. So take me up on my offer. I can't wait to hear from you. If you know someone who might benefit from listening to the show, please share it with them. You can easily share a link to the podcast on social media or through word of mouth. Your support helps me reach more people and continue to bring you great content. Thank you for helping me spread the word about the House of EdTech. If you want to give back to the show and help me continue to bring you great content, consider becoming an awesome supporter. I am very, very thankful for the ongoing support from the following people: Jeff Herb, Peggy George, Dan Gallagher, Mike Messner, Matt Miller, Patty Reefus, Kyle Wilcox, Catherine Abdallah, Brian Carpenter, and Erin Cummings. If you're getting value from this podcast and you want to give back, consider becoming an awesome supporter. All you have to do is visit chrisnessy.com/awesome. The next episode of the show will be episode number 220. And that's going to be all about the impact of social media on education. And I'm not going to do that one alone. I'm bringing back a friend of mine and a fan favorite, Lena Marie Saleh. The EdTech guru will be in the House of EdTech, and that conversation will come your way on March 12th, 2023. And let me preemptively say happy 11th birthday to Miles, who will be 11 on that day as well. Until next time, thank you for learning with me, and remember, using technology isn't difficult. Just give it a try. If you stuck around, I'm not giving away a t-shirt this time. But again, if you'd like some stickers, shoot me a DM and I'll be happy to send you some stickers. Take care.